Hello, everybody. Welcome to From Clay to Sail. Low-Code platform revolutionizes PLM of a German leading ceramics manufacturer. My name is Elizabeth Mixon, and I'm the editor of PEX Network, and we are so excited to have you. Just a friendly reminder, we are actually here live. So if you have any questions, please just write them in the Q&A box. We'd be more than happy to answer them either during the presentation itself or during the end, during the Q&A section. Anyway, without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to our esteemed speaker. Today we have Tim Oliver Rain, the unit lead applications at Scheer PAS. Hi, Tim Oliver.
Hello, thank you, Elizabeth, for the introduction. So hello, everybody. So I will start with my presentation. So from clay to sail. So yeah, we want to show how we revolutionize the product lifecycle management of a German leading ceramics manufacturer. So before I start with the project, I want to share with you who we are. So we are the Scheer Group. This is the business process company. So one of our basic principles, we bring business and IT together because the processes are the connecting element. The sentence is from our founder, Professor Scheer. He is 81 years old. He is still in business, and he helps still us to come forward. And he is also the inventor of the very famous ARIS software. So the ARIS software, it's very famous worldwide, and this is our PAS designer is based on the idea of ARIS. So here are some facts about the Scheer Group. We have 30 offices worldwide. We have over 1,000 employees. We have 1,500 customers worldwide. Yeah, we work on the whole world. As you can see, Europe, America, and Asia. We are in these main sectors: retail, governance, and so on, public, or what you can imagine. And yeah. Now I jump to the next slide. So I will present the project with a leading German ceramics manufacturer. Before I start with the customer, so that's me, yeah, project lead and a consultant of the customer's project. And below you see 3 achievements that my team and me hit. So it's we increased the sales volume in 5 years up to 2,900%. Yeah, this is a real number, what you can see here. We changed the working mind on the customer side with the project. And of course, we have a project team on the customer side, and we helped the project team to be successful internally. So this is our customer, is as I said, a leading German ceramics manufacturer with a number of employees over 6,000 worldwide. So they produce on the whole world, and it's a very established and traditional brand. They are very experienced in the ceramics, bathroom equipment, and furniture, and have a revenue over 1 billion euros per year. So yeah, what was the customer journey? In the year 2017, we got a call from a head of TQM of this ceramics manufacturer. And yeah, he said to us, I saw your in a webinar of you, and I want to know if you promise if you deliver what you promised there. And yeah, he wanted to build processes and apps with a low-code tool. And so we gave him a trial access, and I can remember it very well. He built the whole night in our tool, in the PAS designer process. On the next day, he shows us without any trainings, without any helps from our consultants. And yeah, this is a success story where started. And yeah, what were their main challenges before they buying a Scheer PAS? So first of all, the legacy system. So they had already an over-customized tool which was not updatable anymore. So they looked for an alternative. So they have also some challenges and requirements. They were always dependent of the external consultants for their current software at this moment. And of course, of the internal IT. So they're looking for a platform which they can handle and solve problems in the department direct without external help. And the current tool was not flexible anymore. As I said, it would over customize, not updatable anymore, and so on. So they're looking for a flexible tool and for a more flexible setup for this whole stuff. And as I said, so they want to build flexible and easy apps, and so the low-code approach matches perfect. And yeah, they are very independent now with this tool, and much more than before. Then another challenge was they want to keep SAP as a standard. So another requirement was that they can handle integration in best way in low code. And the last point was to know how, because as I said already, they were always dependent of external consultants, of the internal IT, of external programmers, and so on. So they want to build know-how directly in the department, and yeah, this is without any programmers and without any external consultants. They won't build apps. So my next slide. So how we solve the challenges with Scheer PAS there. So first of all, we use the BPMN-Models to understand and visualize the processes. That means we set up some requirement workshops directly with the departments there and with our project team and with the project team from the customer. And at the end of the day, we have the process. Sometimes we got already some forms for the apps, and sometimes when it's where a small process, we had directly built an app. And this was always very exciting to see the departments, how they feel about it. And yeah, of course, another solution was the low-code approach. So we can integrate, we can build forms, we can draw a process directly in our tool and in low-code. So yeah, of course, we reduced the work, the doubled work, and with our integration, we deliver some master data directly from SAP, so all the departments can use the normal data, what they know from SAP, and they can use in the application directly. In real time, we load data from there and show it, and then they can use in our forms. And what is interesting is, as you can see here, this is the gate process of the customer, and below you see the application workflow. And we're working with 9 different departments in this process, and we bring 11 processes together to one application. So the product lifecycle process is of course very complex, but the end user can see it because we have a very clear and a very easy app to handle the data for SAP. So, and now I will come to the demo of our tool, the PAS Designer. First of all, I want to create a service. Let us call a low-code demo service. Now we are in the configuration of the service, and I want directly create a BPMN process, a small BPMN process. We start with an event here. First of all, I will create a user task, and after that, a service task. This both tasks are the most important low-code features of our PAS Designer. I will explain it later some more. But you can see on the right, we got a lot of tools. You can build exclusive gateways, or you can make parallel gateways for decisions or something like that. And now I go a short presentation to our form editor. So I will start with a text area here. Can change the columns here. Then we have an input file for that. We want a date file, the a small button. And now I go back to the process. Or yeah, as you can see here on the right, we got some more tables and radio boxes and so on, and images, upload files. So you all can directly build this in the Form Designer without any codings. It's low code. And on the left here, you can add some options like from typical form elements in web applications. So then I want for the user task, this is the user task. This is a big difference because our user task, you can add a form for it. And the service task will running in the backend. For example, when you write some data in the user task and you will bring it to the third-party system, SAP, for example, you can handle this with the service task or directly with the user task on the event. And now that's it. So now I can open the application. I can open the application here. And as you see, what I built in my form designer is direct there. Here's a form picker element. It's already complete, usable. Go back short. I go back to the form, and I will show you something more about these options. You can set in a read-only file, for example. You can set in placeholder or on text or something like that. Here, type in, and so on. And then when I go back to the application, I have to reload it. Then you will see that we have that the changes will coming. Okay, when it takes too long, I will go short to the customer, to the real case customer process. So what you can see here is the basic model, gate process, and as you can see, it's very easy to handle it. And I want to show you how you can implement low code, an interface for SAP, for example. Some of you maybe know BPMN. It's the interface for SAP data. And this BPMN will deliver us some structure. So you can see like that as a data model. And on the right side, this is a typical mapping diagram in the Scheer PAS designer. On the right side, I can map data directly to a form data model. This form data model will be created from my form. This is a low-code table. Here you can see the names and the data. And when I go back to the mapping, then you can see directly that we can map the SAP structure, the data model directly to our form. And that's all in low-code. So now I will go back to my presentation. This was a short presentation about our tool. So yeah, what were the key benefits and the takeaways after we finished the project? So first of all, yeah, the process, of course. Before we don't have a process. It was we have many software solutions. We have Excel, we have Outlook, we have the old tool, and so on. And we get it that we marriage all systems to one application and working hand in hand. Another pretty cool stuff was this: now we are process orientated, as I said. Before we don't have really a process, and every end user worked on his own way. And last but not least, now when we have process changes, we can directly make it in the BPMN, so we can handle this process changes very quickly and flexible. And this is another benefit about. Then I go to the know-how. This was one of the most important things of the customer, the target where that we build up internal know-how directly in the department, not in the IT, not with the consultants. And yeah, we make it the most of the processes and the applications the departments build is by his own. And the evolved solution was we're coming from an expert tool, from the old tool to a process tool. And all of this play together now. The way of working is we change the mind of working in the in the company or in the departments. So for all departments, they are working with the product lifecycle management. And yeah, last but not least, of course, we increased the data quality massively. So because before often the customer don't have good data, they often they have to rebuild the models again because the data was not clear and so on. And we simplified the data entry too. We raised it on the next level. And another another big point was transparency. So we connect a third-party tool for the reporting. And yeah, this at the end we have a very successful project that is roll out worldwide. So every manufacturing warehouse is working directly with our software now. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed my short presentation about the customer story. And I'm happy to hear some Q&A.
Thanks, Tim Oliver. So we have a couple of questions coming in. Let's see. So to start, how did you measure the success of the overall project and the impact of low code in the organization?
Yeah, at the moment we don't measure it, so in facts or in numbers, but we got such a good feedback from the end users. It was so we make the way to work much clearly, and we bring the master data together with the interface, with the application. So I'm not sure. I think in a half year we have some facts about it. So how we can, so that we can measure it, or we can show some numbers. But at the moment we don't have it. But yeah, we changed the work already of 9 departments, and this was a big. It has already a big impact. So the end users like it very much.
Fantastic. And then we have another question. LCNC is for everybody?
Mm-hmm. Pardon? Sorry?
It says LCNC is for everybody?
No, I don't think so.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then which kind of employees on the client side actually made apps? And which kinds of apps did they develop?
Yeah, we got a project team on the customer side, so they are not programmers, even they are not ITler. So we have some engineers, some electrical engineers, and so on. And yeah, we train them to our platform, and they work. So the most of it they build they draw the BPMN, and after that they will create the forms, and we'll manage the BPMN process with our forms. And sometimes we support on the integration stuff. So we have to set up for this customer case, it's SAP. So we set up the interface for the customer. Then we get the data in the data models, and then as you can see in the presentation, we map easily the data model from SAP to our forms. And this stuff, the customer make it by his own. And in some cases, they ask for some special cases, they ask us. So they build apps like certification process, for example. So we built the first line of it. The certification process is for all countries where they have or where they sold products, and it's Australia, it's China, and so on. So we started together with the first line in the BPMN. It was Australia, for example, and they adapted. So they make it for China, for Taiwan, and so on. They make it by his own. And yeah, as I said, there were no ITler included, no consultant included anymore. And the process is is going live, and they work with them. So yeah, after some training, I would say everybody who is interested in new technologies in low code, he can handle it. Yeah.
Very interesting. And we have another one. How much help did the client need from Scheer PAS while developing their first apps compared to now, when the partnership has evolved through the years?
As I said at the beginning, they tried completely by their own. They built apps in the BPMN without any coding. It was no code and low code. And when it's getting more complex, they ask us. So then sometimes we write some, or we show them how they can make it. We write some templates for it, and they adapt. And then at the moment they build completely by their own. So we built this product lifecycle management app, and they extend it at the moment with some more product categories. So we built just for wash basin and toilets, and they extend it by their own completely alone at the moment. And sometimes we get the questions when it's a little bit more complicated, but we train them there. It's a long-term partnership already 5 years ago. So I can't say a number now, but yeah.
Fantastic. Awesome. Well, so far those are the only questions we have from our audience. As we wait for possibly the last ones to come in, do you have any final words of wisdom or anything you'd like to convey to wrap things up?
I think when a company started to go to low code, or to say now we use low code in the departments without the IT, it's a strategic decision, I think. So it's so we are always driven from a department, from a special area. But when the company want to be automate processes, it have to be a strategic decision for the whole company, I think. This is from my view, this is a very important key feature for that we can successful with low code.
Interesting. And I did get some clarification on that second question I asked, and it's basically, how do you determine if low code or no code is right for you?
So for me, no code is, as you see, the form designer. You can add easily some form elements, as you see, some input files, some checkboxes, and so on. And you don't need any programming language or something like that. And the low code is for me the BPMN model, because when you for example, you need some integration stuff, I can show it, because it's I think it's too deep technical. But when you want to do some integration with SAP or other third-party system, you have to be familiar with some object-oriented stuff. So that means many of programmers know what I mean, object-oriented. But you have to understand what is the real life, or what I imagine in real life, and what I want to show in the local process.
Awesome. Very cool. And so let's say an hour from now, our attendees decide, oh my God, I have a burning question for you. How can they get in touch with you? Should they just reach out to you via LinkedIn? What's the best way to get more information?
Of course, they can contact me via LinkedIn. And of course via email or something like that. Markus Jolczyk, my colleague, also. So feel free. I'm looking forward. Yeah.
Wonderful. All right, perfect. So everyone, thank you so much for watching today. Like Tim Oliver said, feel free to reach out to him. Definitely look at the Scheer PAS website. There's a lot of great resources there as well. It's an open door policy over there, so they'd love to hear from you. Anyway, next up, everyone, we have learn how to optimize your process lifecycle with process evaluation, mining low code and no code development. It should start in about 5 minutes. Otherwise, thank you so much for attending, and we'll see you at the next session. Thanks, Tim Oliver.
Thank you too. Goodbye.
Bye.